We've got to do something to shore stuff up. So, listen, this is why I'm glad you're here. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And it really is a great day in America. And I'll tell you why. I know unemployment is through the roof. I know at every level of government, we're out of dough. I get all that. I understand. But it's a great day in America because today, do you realize today, all over the United States of America, in tiny little towns, in cities, in counties, in all the states, there are thousands of rallies right now, just like this taking place. Thousands. There are thousands. And do you realize because of this, I mean, we saw 87 new members of Congress elected. It was a landslide. Don't forget that. It's because of groups like this. I mean, it was incredible what we saw, this Tea Party caucus. This is awesome stuff. Well, see, we're not done. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Now, something I like to share is the fact that when I come to gatherings like this, I'm sensing the spirit of 76. I'm talking 1776. I sense it, I feel it. I get it. It's exciting. But keep in mind, this is why we really got to work hard here. Because when it came to those Patriots, they pledged their life, they pledged their fortune, they pledged their sacred honor. That's what they were putting on the line. The signers of the Declaration of Independence, they were willing to put it all out there. And let me tell you something, some of them, they lost it all. There were 56 signers of the Declaration, remember this, 56 signers of the Declaration. These were 56 men, 55 of the men were married. Benjamin Franklin's wife had died sometime before. And you can read the stories. In every case, there was a family discussion. And the husband and the wife would get together and they'd say, okay, listen, if I sign this document, you know what's going to happen, right? I sign this thing, they're coming after us. They're coming after us. We could all die. There were 55 women who looked those men in the eye and said, sign the document. Sign it. Sign it. Sign it. And I say that because when I go to these Tea Party events, not just in the greater Bay Area, but around the United States, they're some of the most determined, patriotic women I've ever met in my life running the show. They remind me of the spirit of 1776. Now I will tell you 3 stories, just brief stories. The document's signed, Declaration of Independence is signed, and one of the signers, next time you look at the document, look at these 3 names. Thomas Nelson is one of the guys. Thomas Nelson comes home. He is now a target of the Brits. And they take over his estate. They take over his whole house. They're using this as a base of operations. It becomes the Battle of Yorktown. And General Cornwallis is trying to get at the enemy in this guy's house. And Thomas Nelson comes up to Cornwallis and says, what are you doing? And Cornwallis says, well, you know, the Brits are there. We're trying not to destroy your house. And Thomas Nelson says, destroy the house. I don't care. Kill them. Kill them. So he takes a cannon himself and he aims it at his house and blows up his house. Let me tell you something about Thomas Nelson. He was a patriot and he led by example, but he was also a man who died bankrupt at the age of 51. He gave it up. Let me give you another story. Richard Stockton. He was a New Jersey Supreme Court justice. He signed the document. He immediately went home. And as soon as he got home, he noticed something. The Brits were in the house waiting for him. It was an ambush. They took him, threw him in a jail cell. He nearly starved to death. What he didn't realize is that they had taken his wife and his kids to God knows where and totally destroyed his house, his barn, killed his livestock, took the horses. He gets out of the jail a couple years later, comes back home, sees it all gone, is able to reconnect with his family before he dies. He died. He'd been so beat up and mistreated, his heart was broken, he died. His family lived off of charity until the children got older and were able to make a living for themselves. Now, those are two guys on the list. When you look at the Declaration, listen to these stories. And then there's another guy you'll see, John Hart. They called him Honest John Hart. Honest John was said to be the most integrous man you could ever meet in your life. His wife is dying. He needs to go sign the Declaration. He wants to stay with his wife because, again, she's in really a bad situation. His wife says, go, sign the document. He goes, signs, comes back. There's his wife. She is on her deathbed. Once again, it's an ambush. The Brits are there. Chaos ensues. His 13 kids run out of the house. The Brits capture him. They're taking him away. He escapes. For the next year, Honest John Hart, now this happened in July, for the next year, a full 12 months, he was living in the wilderness because there was a team of British soldiers who were charged with go get Hart, get Hart. This guy lived for a full year out in the wilderness. He finally made it back home. I mean, he was eating berries, anything he could find. He went through an entire winter with the clothes on his back from summer. He finally makes it back home a year later. The house is gone. The barn's gone. Livestock, horses, gone. Doesn't know where his kids are. 13 children. And he sees a shallow grave containing his wife's body. And he literally died on the spot. Literally died. He was found by neighbors sometime later, and everybody pieced the story together. Folks, this is the spirit of 1776. These people were willing to give their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor. And I feel, I don't mean to sound metaphysical here, but it's almost as if their spirit is calling out, saying to us, go the distance. Go the distance. For their sake, we need to reclaim this country. I don't want to change the country. I want to reclaim this country. I want to get back to those values that made America great. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the Constitution meaning something, pillars of virtue and morality holding us up, friends helping one another, not relying on the government for a handout. This is what we need to do. Folks, we don't have any money. We got to reset. We got to restart. We need to elect great people into office who aren't doing this for their own ego or for their own nest egg, but because they love America. And I know it's an uphill battle. And oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. You wait. All the stops are going to be pulled out during this next election. All the stops are going to be pulled out. We need to get the perfect candidate, okay? We need to get more people into the Congress of the United States. We need to work hard so this Bay Area congressional delegation, a bunch of Nancy Pelosi clones, even the guys, they're a bunch of Nancy Pelosi's in drag. We need to make sure that they're booted out and we get some principled people into office. Now listen, I'll keep doing what I'm doing on the radio, okay? I'll keep doing it. I'll keep doing it. You keep doing what you're doing. But let's all turn it up a notch, okay? I'm turning it up a notch. You're going to turn it up a notch. I'll keep writing pieces on the internet. I'll be cranking out the books. I'll be doing everything I can as long as God gives me the energy and the opportunity. But I need you. We need one another. Symbiotic relationship. So friends, here's the deal. Spirit of 1776. May those stories and those testimonies empower you. May the grace of God embolden you. And may we take back this nation. Let's make it great again. I'm not embarrassed by American exceptionalism. I love it. This is a great nation. You're a great people. God bless the United States of America. God save the state of California.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you all very much. I love you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Hey.